if it's the beginning of the year and you're trying to figure out how to launch a writing program to get your students really engaged, this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Robin Millum. I'm a children's book author, and I'm also a middle school teacher. I have created a writing program called the Structured Writing Workshop, where we focus on 6 skills throughout the year that we work on repeat throughout the year. And then we learn essays and do essay writing in short blocks, 10-day blocks. So when they come to the essays, they already have this really concrete set of skills that they can apply to the essay writing, and it ends up saving you time, even though it feels like they're just having a blast. It's actually they don't realize that they're building up confidence, stamina, and like really, really important skills to do those essays. So, how I launch at the beginning of the year is really, really important. I've created a training. So, if you want to dive deeper into this, you can look in the links below to find there's a free component to this, and then a paid training for it, complete 10 video training on how to do this. But one of the things I go over is a quick start launch, which is what to do after you've done that very first writing sample, which I did in my last video where they do a writing sample where they discuss the time that they were surprised. And then I do it at the beginning, at the end, and we do a comparison. And they absolutely love that. After that, I give them information about how to start the workshop, but I don't tell them everything. I keep some stuff in, and they have to earn their way into my workshop. So I get them excited. I get them like, what is going on? What's happening? What is this? What is that? And I purposefully keep them a little bit in the dark so that they're like, something cool is happening here. I don't know exactly what it is. And then we go into our very first lesson, which is on voice. And from there, I go circle back into the workshop. So what I want to go through with you today is a quick start launch guide that I have, and you can grab this for free. So I will have links below. I'm going to take you through each of the steps to get your writer's workshop launched at the very beginning of the year to get your students really engaged.
Okay, this is the quick start launch guide that I provided with the training. I am going to go ahead and give you a copy to this. So look below for a link if you want to have this one. This is broken down into 6 steps. And I just wanted to point out here at the beginning, at the very top, where I say it's really best to fold in the components. So you don't want to start off day one with the leaders, the trios, the lines, the music. Fold in what you can, like figure out what you think is most important. I'll kind of tell you what I do, and you tinker with it from there. Like I said, I do that very first writing sample about a time you were surprised, and then I introduce the workshop here. So it's step 1, and kind of start explaining it. And this is where I go ahead and I show them the student-facing directions. Let me find those. I'm going to pop those here in case you're not sure. They look like this. And it goes through all the components to it. And I actually kind of go through this quickly. I don't want them to take it. I just want them to kind of be intrigued and not learn all of it yet. Like, you're going to do this. Oh, and look at this. You'll get to do these things. We'll go into more detail about that. Here are the 6 skills and so on. And then stop here and tell them that we're not quite ready, that we're going to be doing something for you to prove they're ready for this awesome workshop. And then there you'll stop everything and do this voice lesson. It looks like this. So if you have your own lessons on voice, use that. If you have purchased mine, it looks like this. And then it walks them through an activity where they're writing a diary entry. And I also have a video on it. So it looks like this, how I teach writing 4th, 5th, 6th. My very first lesson. Is funny because this is only from like a year ago, and my video, it looks so sad. What a sad video. I might need to record that again. Okay, so there's support videos for that. So then once you've done all that voice lesson, you can start to get into, okay, here are the 3 jobs. Sign up for it if you would like to. I do want to add in here, if you have older students, like let's say you have 8th grade in particular. I know I've taught 8th grade for years, and they are a tricky bunch because everything needs to be cool and they don't like anything that's cringe. And sometimes the captains with a script can be a little bit cringe for an 8th grade group, maybe even 7th. It depends on what kind you have. Sometimes I've worked with 7th graders who were just really young and they loved all this stuff, but 8th graders are another beast. So you might want to tell them we'll get to captains and then you just run it yourself, so they just get the gist of doing all the writing and all the components to it, and then say, hey, would anyone like to be a captain? Once they're into it, they're more willing to. They don't like stuff thrown at them all at once. They are what they are. Okay, so then you're going to have them apply for the position, give them more information about it, and then over here are always links to the lessons. I would do another voice lesson. So basically, this voice lesson should go with your first launch, because you want that first 7-minute thing that you do to not be a totally different brand new thing, because everything is already brand new. You want them to feel success, so they know what is involved in writing with voice now. And they're just going to practice it some more in session 1, but they get choices of what they're going to write about. You can decide if you want to include music at this point or not. You might want to hold off on that. So it's basically your captains going through their script. It's very clunky. It will take some time, but that's just the way it goes. And then they get it. And then once it's running smoothly, you'll be like, this is amazing. And then, of course, videos there for you on that part. Next up, this is when I would fold in the idea of trios. Like, now you know how to set it up, you know how to write in a certain amount of time, and you've had choices what you're going to write about, right? So now we're going to talk about getting into groups of 3s to share our work, and then you can show them their teams. You can decide if they're going to choose teams. That's really too difficult, but so just create their teams, assign them. Again, this one, when you introduce something new, it takes a little bit longer for them to get into it, but eventually this all kind of comes together. It's like trying to put on a giant play. You know how that is. So then we're going to, the next time around, then fold in the other idea, which is line length goals. And on that one, now that they've written like maybe 2 or 3 sessions already, I can't remember now where we are, but now they can look at how many lines they've written so far, typically, and talk to them about line lengths and talk to them about how authors use this themselves. They do line length goals, page number, word count, all that, so that they're doing the work of a typical author. And then by that point, once you get to the 6th step here, you should have all components up and running. Again, music is up to you how you want to handle that. And then you're also doing your diamond part of this as soon as you feel comfortable. Like, if you feel comfortable going back here and doing it at the end of your first session, go ahead and do it. The biggest bang for your buck here is going to be you walking around after you've done some writing yourself and just searching for a diamond for that day, and then figuring out how you're going to acknowledge them. If you're going to give them an actual plastic diamond or a little sticker, or their name goes on a chart, or like a Diamond Hall of Fame, I don't know, whatever you want to do there. So that is how I would get this started up and off the ground. I know there are some really specific questions that you have. A great place to ask those questions is over in our Facebook group. We already have people answering each other's questions quicker than I can get in there and answer them, which is amazing. Or you can always email me. Now, I want you to come back for my next video for next week, because I'm going to go over how do I start my ELA class. I'll tell you how I do my daily agenda slide with my question of the day, and then we move into a warm-up. And then before that, I'm going to give you a sneak peek right now. And I want to share with you 2 of my latest projects. I'm so excited to share these with you. First up, you'll see my year-long bundle of ELA 3-a-day warm-ups are completely done. I incorporate these into my writing program by having them complete 3 standards-based tasks every day. So they do sentence combining, which research shows that this really is the way to teach grammar concepts rather than in isolation. And then they work on test prep skills for language. and a quick write. It's really high interest, usually really funny, and it keeps them from, ever saying that I have writer's block. Because the more they practice that writing off the top of their head, the more confident they're going to be to tackle those bigger projects like essays. And with the sentence combining, I do make it like it gets progressively more complex for them throughout the year. So I'll start with really simple sentences that they combine, and then I move into fragments, and then I just start giving them topics and they come up with their own compound and complex sentences. And the second thing I want to share with you is the complete structured writing workshop course that has been finished. The first module of this is free, so you can check it out and see what you think. It gives you a big overview and shows you all the student-facing directions that I give to my students myself. And then included in that, you'll have some notes where you can put down your ideas. And then I give you the full outline. And I just wanted to show you what's in the course. It's 10 modules, and it goes into much more depth than just the ebook and the regular videos on YouTube. I show pictures of it in action, more examples. I go way deeper into how I do each of these. And so, for example, let me go up here to module 8. I divided it into 2 because that's where the 6 super skills come in. And I go really, really deep on these, on how I teach these writing lessons here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.